The choices here, I think, are between Sharon and said Dracula. I just played said Dracula, I'm gonna grab Sharon. You could also try Fallen Angel. I'm just not overly excited about it. Wow, and talk about not overly excited. I don't like anything here. I think I'm gonna take Mad Mim and just lose the fight, unfortunately. But it will become a 2-4, which I think is gonna be better than a 7-2. We will take 3 damage when we normally wouldn't take silly any. Maybe we should get a second Mim? I don't know. There's a lot of good things that go along with Mim that also go along well with Sharon. I'm gonna cast this. We'd like the unicorn, but yeah, if we don't get it, we can always sell and grab it here. Unicorn goes well with Sharon, buffing the attack of something. A lot of this is offset by the fact that we have a Mim, which means that we get extra attack, but I think in general this is our best setup. We would have loved like a happy little tree. That's really the ideal, I think, early on. Happy little tree or a cut purse. There's a few good options. You know, Polywoggle's nice. Oh, a short shot is the other one that's very, very good. You know, anything with it that holds the buffs really well. That was nice, and we will actually win this fight. So, perfect. This is interesting. I kind of want to grab this and double cast. So obviously that didn't work out great. The hope was that most things give us a little econ. I don't think we're grabbing any of these, so we'll just roll. And so this is a nice option next turn. And econ wise, we could, you know, grab this, grab the sure shot, and get a cut purse. No, I think we're better off finding 3s. Unfortunately, this wasn't a great turn because I double cast it. I basically spent 2 gold doing nothing. But the idea was that usually you spend the 2 gold and get two free spell casts that end up being worthwhile. Ooh, and it looks like if we attack this, we tie. Yeah, we do lose the fight because we got the wrong attack, unfortunately. It was a 50-50. Can't really expect those to work out. I do wonder here how bad it is just to catch Gingerbread Party. We will need to accelerate quickly next turn, but I think it could be worth it. I'm gonna do it. I'm aware it's greedy. I'm just comfortable with that. Now the unicorn could be good. We could stop here. Yeah, I think he is fine. One thing we could do is go, we're gonna have 6, so we could go 1, 2, and 3. We don't get to pick the 3rd one, obviously, but we get the upgrade, we get 2 characters. This, since we'll have a Slay, Shadow Assassin could grow, and since we have a Mim, the Peep is very nice. I think this is fine. We're gonna be weak this turn, but I think we catch up a little bit next turn. Take a little bit of damage, not too much. Down to 29. Again, not great, but we're going 1, and 2, and 3. And animals get a buff and are evil. That's interesting. That actually gives us some power. Otherwise we get some gold. I think we could use some power right here, right? And the idea is that hopefully this spawns in front. I think we want something like this, right? We want to spawn in front of the Mim. No, we probably want this a little further back to get the maximum spawns. They do spawn as 2 1s. So even if they don't spawn in front of the Mim, we do get a little bonus. And we'll just put the cut press up front. We're not going to bother trying to grab the Shadow Assassin. That's not really the comp we're going for. We're really going for a particular comp, but it's not as if we need to, you know, go specifically for that. Now note that the sheep will be bad against Jack's Giant if they're against the front row because they do have the +2 health. That means you can't really attrition them super well, but I think this is still our best lineup. We've had sort of a weird start to the beginning. We had that misstep with the double cast. Wow, so we will tie this fight, but we get 2 extra gold from the pig, so not too bad. Do we get a pig? Do we get a sleigh as well? We did get a sleigh. Obviously something's growing. Donkey isn't a bad thing to grow. Although I don't know that we have a great way to pull that off. This is really interesting. And what I'm talking about is a dwarf transition. Because we could go 1, 2, 3. You put the double E first. Double E actually is really good with Sharon buff. Because it gets +4/+2 every time it dies. I don't hate that. I'm gonna try that. We'll go like this. And is this... And I guess this is better. So the idea is that this will grow pretty quickly. If the double is the first thing to die, and it only has 3 health so far, it will actually get quite big. You know, become a 13-5 next round and keep going like that. You know, it's obviously a strange pivot, but I think it's supported by what we're doing. Okay, that was sort of a weird build they had. As you can see, we're just grabbing some dwarfs. Grab another dwarf. Yeah, I mean, if we get 2 more dwarfs, we get another treasure, which grows this crafty. I wonder if the unicorn is just a little better than the I guess that none of the sheep summons are actually pretty strong here. This is obviously very strange. I'm not sure it's good, but this is gonna grow by 5 or 6 this round with any luck, if if all these things die first. Which is pretty big, and then like we said, the doublies grow quite big. This will next turn, if we find enough dwarfs, we'll get +3/+3, which makes it a little more formidable. Yeah, I don't know. This is a transition I'm not super confident about. Playing a Vela who's trying, well, the grandmother's starts at 50. Not, I was gonna say they were above 40, but yeah, they started 50, so that's not super surprising. We're at 29 health, which obviously isn't great. This person was all the way down at 7 health. They only had 3 characters on board. I think they must have tripled their godmothers, got the hidden cash, and then just been left with not much. Unfortunately, godmother is better with a big board because you need things to give the buffs and to get the buffs. Okay, so that's the buff we wanted. So we will lose this fight. Nice to attack that. Oh, no dice. Okay, so we take 6. We did get most of what we wanted, though. We found this thing, too. Could just use one more bossy, and We asked for 1 and we found 2. Next time we get a treasure, we'll get a 6 drop. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 drop treasure is actually not bad either. But we'll just take the Ivory Owl. +2/+2 every turn, especially the doubly seems good. I think they do get double the buff, right? That only makes sense. And, you know, an early Ivory Owl was really nice. They'll become 19/19, so I guess this one's a little bigger. This one will become a 23/21. And yeah, hopefully we'll just roll from there. That was a very good turn, obviously. On 4, I guess we're looking for greedies wouldn't be bad, because they grow. Mostly looking for, I guess, tripling doublies, maybe more bossies. You know, most of the good dwarfs come later. So a 4-drop treasure is nice because it gives you the forge, which helps you triple more dwarfs, or upgrade them, because you're only doubling them at that point. Oh, okay, so this one dying, unfortunately this dying is not optimal with the Charon buff. Of course the Charon buff isn't, you know, we're getting 2/2 to everything at all points now. On all our boards, so the 2/1 buff isn't the most important. I don't know if it's worth a crafty here, right? I don't think it is. I think we want to just, you know, be on the lookout for, yeah, this thing. And I think these are all so not helpful. I mean, a power orb is half of a buff, right? So let's just look for more dwarfs. Obviously we don't find any, we'll feel a little foolish. That's fine. And do we want to put something on board? We definitely want to get the buff here. And we can just put like a 6/2 on board and be okay in the fight. Or we can put a 4. No, we can't afford that. Okay, so let's not say stuff that we can't do. And the idea would be that we put the 4/4 on board instead of just rolling. There's not, like I said, there's not a lot of 4-drops we do want, but we're willing to take some. I think it's just better to have an extra character. That might be a mistake. Maybe it's better to take 2 more rolls. But we're not going to be able to buy anything this turn. And we are going to hit 5. We do sort of want to see if we can pick up some Ingries. Unfortunately, what you want is a Lordy, and we're not really close to Lordy. We still have 3 turns away from Lordy, and we're just sort of biding our time. We want more doublies. Doublies are very strong. They get 4/4 a turn. Obviously, we can actually put them in the first slot and hope they die to give them an extra buff. So this is a pretty interesting setup. Oh, and here's someone else who found some dwarfs. They went a more standard dwarf route of, they have a very big princess. So I think we win the fight as long as our princess, as long as their princess has to trade into our doubly. Yeah, I think we win this fight. And actually we got the extra buff on our princess. Yeah, I don't think we need to take a lucky here, right? We could, I guess. We could take a lucky, let it grow. But I think we're looking for Ingries and doublies. Yeah, actually looking for XP. I was being silly. I wish I could grab that thing. Oh, and I wish I could get a greedy. Why can't I get a greedy? There's no way it's worth it to sell 2 things for a greedy, right? That would be too greedy. Yeah. I'm gonna roll. If we find an Ingry, we'll stop. Otherwise, yeah, we're just gonna hope we win the fight and get to 6 and find some Lordies. That's really what we're looking for. This person's 5. I think everyone's 5, right? Yeah, this is the first XP we bought. I skipped 6. Okay. So, who do we just play last round? I feel like I should be able to remember these things. Oh, I think it was Ando. It was the grandmother. So, I mean, so grandmother, when they hit 6, will get a +3 buff. We've been getting +2 a turn every turn, which is huge. Does this get plus? So is this going to go to a 62, 59, or am I just, like, does that I mean, that should be how it works, right? I haven't been paying enough attention. I think it must be because it is very large. I guess it makes slightly more sense to put this ahead. And, you know, long term, the only things we're keeping probably are the Tripoli and the Bossy, which is a little unfortunate with Ivory Owl. You want to keep what you have, but if we can win this fight and get to a Lordy, you know, we get a lot stronger. Very, very quickly. And this does look like a fight we can win. You know, buffing their ranged units is very good for them. But yeah, now we get the chance to just take them out. Minotaur was the first thing to die. Yeah, it makes sense that the weakest thing is going to be the first to die in most cases. But it's not what we're looking for. We knocked him down to 1 health. We have a bunch of upgraded characters, so... Okay, so let's just roll for a Lordy, right? I can't imagine anything else is worthwhile. An Angry might be worthwhile. I say something and I'm wrong instantly. Another Bossy, another Greedy. I don't think any of those are worth it, though. They're certainly better than what we have, but everything we have is growing so quickly. None of these are Lordies. Okay, I mean, the good thing is that the Angry gets buffed. And an Angry getting buffed is very, very good, because it can survive more hits to get more buffed. We are at 6 a little, so we bought 2 XP. Looks like everyone else bought 2 XP except for the Gwen and the Dragon, right? Yeah. So, you know, our plan is just to find a Lordy. I think, you know, with Ando being 6 and hitting and being dwarfs, I think we saw that they were on dwarfs. That means that they are also going to be looking for Lordies. So we really just need to accelerate through and find them before they got purchased up by, you know, a competing dwarf player. And we haven't found any more triplies or doublies, which would have been really nice because, again, they get double the buff, I think is what we determined. Although, again, I wasn't looking because I get distracted by, you know, bouncing balls and whatever else is going on, it turns out. But yeah, having that Angry get buffed is really nice. And it looks like that is what happened. You know, I think they actually win this fight, right? Well, yeah, they're getting some great value trades. But you know what, maybe not. This is going to be big. And actually that means we take them out. Almost, if they had gone one more attack. So that's nice. We do take someone out. But yeah, now that, I mean, the game is all about finding Lordies. If we find them, we have a shot. If we don't, I think we don't. And I think to up our chances, we'll take the extra gold. Echowood is great, but we need the Lordies first. I mean, Bossy is obviously better than Fanny, but we're all about the Lordies here. Oh, I wish we could cast that too. I mean, if we can't find Lordies, we're just gonna get outscaled. That's what's gonna happen, unfortunately. And I don't know if there's much we can do about it. I don't know if we're supposed to sell the chicken. I think, you know, I think we're just gonna try to find Lordies next turn. You know, the Lordies are only gonna give plus 10 initially, so it's not gonna be that big of a boon right away. One thing is taking an Echowood is very nice because, you know, we're getting plus 14, so it does start off as like a 15-15 right away. Every fight. And it itself grows. So, maybe we should have just grabbed it, but I really wanted to find the Lordies. And the earlier we find everything, the better because they grow them. You know, they get the 2/2 buff. So we'll have to see how powerful Skip's gotten. They've been on 6 for a long time. I remember they had the Fairy Godmother and not much else earlier, but, you know, I'm sure they've powered up quite a bit in the, you know, 10 turns since then, right? Wow, that was an unfortunate value trade for us there. No, we do tie the fight. Okay, we're fine with that. We get, we get upgrades every fight that goes on. I desperately need to find a Lordy though. I wonder if we're supposed to take Hi-Ho there. I don't think we're supposed to take this. I really don't think we're supposed to buy anything that's not a Lordy. I do wonder if there's a new hero that might be helpful. I mean, Echowood is maybe better than... Maybe it's better to have an Echowood than it is to have like a Tweedledee. But again, it's not a Lordy. Yeah, this is incredibly unfortunate. I think we probably would have, we would have had a better board. Given that we didn't find Lordies, we would have been better off with the Echowoods. We had 2 opportunities. But I think we, we're better off hoping for the Lordy upside. And the thing is, we are getting permanent buffs. So when we find, so it's probable that Ando is ahead of us if they found some Lordies. But given that we're getting these buffs every turn, if we do find Lordies, I think we can leapfrog some people in terms of their comps compared to us. So we are suffering a little bit now, but I think we have some potential going forward. Oh, we attacked the worst thing. That was unfortunate. They have actually a couple upgraded backline units that are going to make it so if we lose this fight, it looks like we will, we're going to take a lot of damage. Wait, do we lose this fight? Yeah, those get huge. Yeah, we take three extra. That was a close fight. We don't need Tweedledees, we need Lordies. And we're playing somebody who probably has all Lordies. He has 1. Okay. And we put that in over, I think, Fanny? Oh, maybe Tweedledee. And is it better to get a smite? Is it going to do anything here? The thing about dwarfs is once you have Lordies, I don't think the smite does anything. I think everything's just too big. So, I think we're likely going to lose this fight, which means we could get knocked out. They do probably have a bunch of upgraded characters. That is how dwarfs usually goes. Because you're forcing things so hard. We have 3, which isn't a ton, but because you're forcing things, you end up with upgrade characters. Oh, Tweedledee is better than Crafty here. Right. Yeah, it's slightly more health, or slightly more attack, a little less health, but it also summons something that is buffed. Yeah, I think on balance it's better. Yeah, I think the issue is if they have, an upgraded Lordy or anything. Well, they actually don't have any Lordies. That's so interesting. Okay, we win this fight. And do 12 damage to them. And if they find a Lordy, it gets upgraded, so they get a lot stronger. But let's see if we can beat them to it. Echowood obviously very good with... I think we still need more Lordies. And you know what? There's our Lordy buff, right? Now an Echowood would be good, although the thing about Echowood is that I think what we'd end up replacing is the Fanny, but this princess I think is too big because it's gotten so many buffs, and because it's gotten so many Ivory Owl buffs that we can't reasonably replace it. So The thing is, they can get an upgraded Lordy all at once, and that probably means they outpace us in a fight, which is going to be tough if that's what happens. So we're going to keep looking, and I think all we're looking for is more Lordies, one Echo Wood, or doubly. And those are basically the only three things that matter. Otherwise, we're just trying to cast a good spell. In terms of good spells, I think it's just Rotten Apple and Polymorph for the most part. Knighthood if we... But honestly, there's nothing we even want a Knighthood. Knighthooding Angry is fine, but unremarkable. Unfortunately, we're not even close to any treasures. You know, we had the 1/6 drop we had, we just Knighthooded. Excuse me. And these two will fight, hopefully, you know, knocking out the skip, giving us a second place at least. Hopefully we can beat the Isabella. Be a little bit. We have been losing to Ghost recently. We actually did just lose to this person. That was the perfect hit. The nice thing is that when our dwarfs die, the princess does get buffed, and we get a buff every round from the Ivory Owl, so we actually benefit quite a bit from the, you know, at each round, as each round goes, we do benefit quite a bit. This was a very strong person. The person who beat them, so Skip, I think was probably also quite strong. And we're able to get down to the final round. I'm guessing they found another Lordy, or just a single Lordy that got upgraded. Again, Bossy is better, but not enough better. Shrivel doesn't do enough. Doubly, I think, is enough of an improvement that it's worth grabbing. Masquerade with no 5s is a little tough. And I don't think it's time to do this. So, I think we're just going like this. Yeah. And the hope is that they haven't found a ton of Lordies in Echo Woods. I think they had one at least, one Lordy, or one Echo Wood. They didn't have any Lordies, but they did have the Hand of Midas, so it's going to depend on that. It's possible we're just outmatched here. You know, Echo Wood is better than Princess White. So if we do find a... You know, if we find an Echo Wood, we can replace the Princess here. I think Princess is still better than a Tweedledee, though. Not 100% about that, but I think so. I guess it makes sense to go like this, letting this get more buffs. We should have moved it over a little bit, but... Oh, and they have 4 Lordies. We do get good trades for the most part. We will lose the fight, but we're not dead here. We're down to 10. They don't have great treasures. Obviously we don't either. Echo Wood better than Princess. That's true, I just don't know how much better it is. And I think what we really want is more Lordies. Because how much better, yeah. Ingri's decent. It does give us maybe a 5-drop treasure. We don't have that long though. I mean, yeah, I think we just... Oh, Polymorph's also good. Well, I think we just need to find a 5-drop treasure and we didn't. So I think we're just gonna get taken down here. It's a little bit unfortunate. What did their build look like? I think they made a mistake having all their big things in the back. Although I do think it makes sense for us to have put the biggest front line available, and we want the Bossy to be last. Yeah, I think this is good. We want, you know, no value from enemy Angries. Ooh. So, hitting the Echo Wood was nice there. As was taking down their Angry without them getting a buff. Yeah, we got great value trades this fight. Yeah, okay, not too bad. Their spell was awful, and ours was useful, so that's what made the difference. There's 1-5 here, that's not enough for the Masquerade. Again, Knighthood. Not only can we not afford it, but it doesn't do enough. Another doubly is going to be better than a Fanny, I think. Although I do think we need to find like an apple. And we just didn't. This is 100. If we put this in, so this gives 4-4, so it gives, yeah, I think it's better to keep one of these in. I think we're not going to find a spell. This is a poison apple, we'll feel stupid. No, it wasn't. Okay, I think we're likely to lose this fight because we didn't get enough stronger, but, and we don't have the poison apple anymore. Oh yeah, and this has I don't know how that got up to 1,000 health, but it did, and I think that crushes us. Yeah, so we got taken down. We basically just had an Ivory Owl and nothing else this entire game, and that's going to be, difficult, but good game with dwarfs. Wish we found a few more woodies. We only found one, and then we upgraded it. We passed on some echo woods, which might have cost us. Obviously, that echo wood was huge at the end. They also got the singing swords, which was great. I think unfortunately we had some bad. We went into dwarfs and we only were able to buy 2 XP. We were into dwarfs so early, but there's no dwarfs you really want to buy except for lordies and doublies, and we weren't seeing doublies, and we couldn't buy lordies because we went at 6. So that was sort of a weird mid game, but I think overall we're happy with a second place.